up there and when they came in the house, somebody had you and the cops came out here. Told me I was just taking out the garbage. Where you been?
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. Stand up for mine. You better believe it, 'cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Don't push me on the edge, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving you a chance, boy. I'm giving you a chance, you see boy. The devil in a glance, boy. The devil in a glance, boy. I can knock you out your pants, boy. Knock you out your pants, boy. I told you not to fuck with mine. I told you not to fuck with mine. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house.
I got a baby girl inside this house. house, and right now she's sound asleep. So it's probably best for the both of us if you just turn around and leave. Cause if you come in this fucking house, then you too gonna go to sleep. I promise you, boy, don't play with me. I pray to God my soul to keep. Especially this day and age, gotta handle shit our own way. With a 30-30 or 12 gauge behind this door, you're hella weight. My old lady, she rides too, picking up every shell case, mopping up these blood stains, but she ain't seen a damn thing. Most of my people are convicts, hard-headed, no nonsense. So please approach with caution. You never know who's watching. You never know what's on the other side of that front door, and you knocking might step out like motherfuckers get to dropping. All the neighbors heard was the dogs barking. The sun was down, it was getting dark, and I told the sheriff it ain't no problems, man. I was just taking out the garbage. So if you don't mind, please excuse me. I'm with the family trying to watch a movie. I'm sure you got better things to do, so I'll let you go and get back to duty.
Coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Glad you brought your friends, they can watch it go down. I got mine too, so welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. From here, then you won't understand. This is my country. This is who I am. So welcome to my house. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So welcome to my house. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So welcome to my house. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So welcome to my house. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV Round number 2 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wings Sprintcars, brought to you by Ultimate Dirt League. Tonight we come to Port Royal Speedway, also known as the Speed Palace. After last week, week number 1 at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Tonight, night number 2 here at Port Royal, with qualifying on the program at the moment. And we do have half the drivers. We've got 25 out of the 28 drivers that have signed in to the pit area, all taking a lap time. Here is the King Race Designs car number 20 entry of Chris Nankerville, chasing the time of 15.532 of Greg Chandler. Greg Chandler with a 15.532. Lap 1 for Nankerville was 20th quick with a 15.789. Lap number 2 should be significantly better. With that improvement, we wait for the time to come through for Nankerville. He goes 15th quick with a 15.721. 28 drivers have made their way into the virtual pit area for the second round of the JR Productions and Media Ultimate Dirt League 360 Wings Sprint Cars. Round 2 of 6. Next week we head to the Lernerville Speedway. And of course we'll go, I believe it's Lernerville. Pretty sure it's Lernerville, Lanier, Limaland, and then I-55. It is Lernerville round 3 next week, followed by 2 weeks' time we'll go to Lanier round 5, which will be at Limaland, and the 6th and final round of the series at I-55. So plenty of action to come here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Qualifying is done. Let's take a look at those official results for you right now. Greg Chandler for Frog Leap Racing Team with a 15.532, 5/1000 of a second quicker than Sean Stevens. And you go back to Clayton Davies. Cooper Wilson and Riley Stewart make up your top 5. Lindsay Hobbs, Brent Hobbs, Justin Wright, Kai Jensen, and Daniel Boyd will be the top 10 drivers. 3 heats on the program. Excuse me, it should be a 10, 9, and a 9. Heat number 1 will line up like this on the pole position. It's going to be Daniel Boyd to the outside of the front row. Brent Hobbs from position number 2. Greg Chandler rolls off. Cooper Wilson rolls off at a position number 3. Greg Chandler, the man that went quick time, will start from position number 4. David Clifford rolls off from the 5th starting position to the outside. Kobe Wright from position number 6. Position number 7, we'll see Kyle Collins. Position number 8, it's Luke Johnson. Tony Walsh from position number 9, and Jack Murphy from position number 10. Pace truck is in, ready for a start. Heat ranks number 1 of 3. Wait for the iRacing green flag to come out. It starts all races. Any restarts that we may have will be on the lead out of turn number 4. And it's going to be Daniel Boyd getting the jump down into turn number 1. First of 8 circuits around Port Royal Speedway. Hobbs looks to the inside for the race lead. Meanwhile, Cooper Wilson, Greg Chandler, they'll battle it out for positions 3 and 4. But here comes Kobe right now. They'll nearly make it 3 wide down the back straight away. Kobe Wright, Chandler, they'll bang wheels. They'll rub wheels down the back stretch down into 3. Meanwhile, challenge up for the race lead. Brent Hobbs still trying to get by Daniel Boyd. Here comes Cooper Wilson, working back there in 3rd position. Wright, Chandler make up your top 5. Then you go back to Clifford, Johnson, Collins, Walsh, Murphy in the pit area. We've seen Chandler to the inside on Wright. Now Wright runs off the cushion down to the middle of the racetrack on the exit of turn number 2. It's still Daniel Boyd at the cross flag. Sticks are out, 4 down, 4 to run. And boy, Greg Chandler railed the cushion through 3 and 4. And he went swooping around the outside. Meanwhile, here comes Cooper Wilson to position number 2. He'll go to the top in 3 and 4. Chandler runs the cushion, gets into the wall. Kobe Wright gets involved. David Clifford gets involved. We may go yellow. Heat ranks number 1. There's 2.5 remaining. So if we go yellow, there'll be a green white checker to finish it up. Meanwhile, Daniel Boyd runs the bottom in turns 3 out of turn 4. He'll be on the top side of the racetrack, and Cooper Wilson will lead lap number 6 with 2 to run. Boyd goes back to the inside. Slide job into turn number 1 and 2, but here comes Wilson. Fights back down to the inside. He'll return the serve down into 3, and it's slide job city at the moment between Cooper Wilson, Daniel Boyd. The white flag is out. Brent Hobbs watching this battle unfold in front of his very eyes. I'll go down the back straight. I'll go down the back straight away. And it's going to be Cooper Wilson getting the job done in heat race number 1. Daniel Boyd home in second. Hobbs will grab third. Top 3 should go to the main event. Johnson and Collins come home 4th and 5th. And you go back to Walsh, Chandler, Clifford, Wright and Murphy for drivers in heat race number 1. But well done to Cooper Wilson taking the checkered flag here at the Port Royal Speedway, the Speed Palace. There is your official results. Wilson, Boyd, Hobbs, your top 3. Johnson, Collins go 4th and 5. Walsh, Clifford, Chandler, Wright and Murphy go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heat number 2 will line up like this. Jared Burns lines up from the pole position to the outside, the 78 of Justin Wright. Row 2 to the inside, position 3, Riley Stewart to the outside, the 26 YOB Racing entry. That's Sean Stevens from position number 4. Inside your third row from position number 5, Derek Patetti to the outside. James Rice lines up the 5 machine from position number 6. Jason Burke for JSI Racing out of position number 7. Excuse me, Liam James from position number 8 to the outside of Jason Burke in row 4. Then you go back to Caleb Mills lining up from position number 5. So heat 1 is done. Heat number 2 is on the racetrack. And again, we immediately go 1 to green. So 28 drivers fighting for 24 starting positions in tonight's main event, which means we'll take quite a few from the B main. Only 4 will miss out. Ready for heat number 2. Burns and Wright. And the green flag is out. Jared Burns gets a good jump down into 1, but it's Riley Stewart putting the slider on Burns. They work down the back straight away. Keep an eye on Sean Stevens, as Stevens now moves to position number 3, tries to come up to position number 2, right. And James Rice, in fact, going to go back to the pits. Let's see if we can spot what happened here between Liam James and James Rice as we take a look at the replay. So the 5 entry of James Rice just came down, just came off the wall. Was James Rice down into the right rear? Just trying to gather who that was. Going to the side of Jason Burke it was. And Burke into Liam James, and James into, it's going to sound silly, but Liam James, but James into Rice, but Liam James into James Rice. Both cars back in the pits, which means their heat races are done. We'll see them back in our last chance qualifier. So again, we still wait for heat race number 2. In fact, it's about to resume right now. To wait on Jared Burns. Justin Wright on the outside of the front row. So I believe we may have gone back to a complete restart. Looking at the way those drivers just lined up, then Stevens again down to the inside, down into 3 and 4. It's almost like a carbon copy of the opening lap. So it was a complete restart. 2 down, 6 to run. Although we were on lap number 1. But a complete restart for the starting positions as Stewart rails the cushion. Burns goes through the middle of the racetrack, and Stewart has got the 3/10 of a second lead over Jared Burns as Stevens gets into the back of Jared Burns in the 24 entry. Well, a lot of the drivers working on the top side of the racetrack. That's why it's the Speed Palace. Stevens now looks through the middle of the raceway. Berkey tries to put the move on Justin Wright. Does so for position number 4. Wright tries to come back, and we watch the battle for second and third on screen at the moment. Jared Burns in the 24, along with Sean Stevens. 3 circuits remaining. They all try to run the cushion. on the entry into the turns. They're about mid-track, depending on when they come out of 2 or 4. And this again, Stevens looks for the slide job attempt. He'll complete it. And we are yellow. We've got Justin Wright as the man slowing on the back straight away. Let's take a look and ouch. So already had some damage. Let's go back a lap. Right, that was all fine and dandy. Here's another slide job from Wright on Berkey. Oh, there's a little contact, and that's the reason why the top wing was damaged. And then that car just did not want to turn into the middle of 1 and 2, and right front severely busted up. Comes to a stop, but unfortunately couldn't get off the track quick enough. We had the leader coming around, which therefore brought us under the yellow flag conditions. So, green-white checker for heat number 2. I thought the safety car may have gone off, but it did not. So at least set them around one more time. Race control may be looking at the incident between Justin Wright and Jason Burke. I thought from memory, I think from first glance at that one, I thought maybe Wright may have come off the wall. I'd have to have another look at that one to see. Looks like they're going to leave it as it is. They may have even just called that a little bit of a racing deal. So 3 cars out of the 9 back in the pits. We've still got 6 at 2/3 of the field is still on the racetrack. So has Jared Burns got anything for the race leader? Let's find out. 2 laps left to run. Heat number 2. One more heat to come after this one, followed by a B main. I don't think we should have a C. I think it should just go straight into a B, but we go back to green. Wow, the Wyobi 26 entry of Sean Stevens. He's all over the back of Jared Bird through 1 and 2. Now he'll dive it down to the inside, down into 3. He'll complete the slide jump, but Burns takes it back to the inside. I think Stevens had it at the start-finish line. It wasn't by a whole lot of distance right now. They'll work down the back straightaway. There's contact between Burns and Stevens. Can Berkey put himself into the show directly from a transfer spot? Stewart wins. Jared Burns home in 2nd. Sean Stevens 3rd. Jason Burke 4th. Derek Patetti 5th. Caleb Mills 6th. Justin Wright, Liam James, and James Rice to make up your 9 cars. Heat number 2 results on screen. No change. So there is Stuart Burns, Stevens to the main event. Burke, Patetti, Mills, Wright, Rice, and James will go through to the B main. Heat number 3, your 5th and final heat race of the night. We'll see Reese May line up alongside Kai Jensen on the front row. Row 2 inside, it's going to be Lindsay Hobbs. To the outside, Clayton Davies. Row 3 inside, Chris Nankiville from position 5. Kinzer Claridge from position number 6. Row 4 inside, it's Max Bevan and Jacob Croker from position number 8. Mitchell Clark from position number 9. I don't know why that says that. How old is this points drivers? Oh yeah, I did this last week. Drivers. Apologies to the JSI team. There we go. So safety car still on. Heat 3, 3rd and final heat race of the night. And we'll go into the B main. You know, I don't think there's going to be enough for a C main. There goes the racing.com official pace truck, and now leaves it in the hands of Reese May and Kai Jensen to get us underway. Who will take out heat number 3? Which 3 drivers will lock themselves into the main event? Green flag is out, we're underway. May got the jump on Jensen. Hobbs in the 27. Jensen just tagged the guardrail on the back straightaway out of turn number 2 as Clayton Davies tries to rip the lip, but back to the inside he goes, trying to make it 3 wide. Well, he's used all sorts of line on the front straightaway. He's used top, bottom and middle, trying to control that car and trying to find a way into the main event here this evening directly from the heat racing. Jensen under some pressure. He cuts to the inside on Lindsay Hobbs, and boy, Clayton Davies had to take evasive action. Reese May continues to lead the way. We want down into corner number 3. Max Bevan in the 68 machine. The old pretty boy wannabe. Sitting back there in position number 5. Claridge back there in Nankiville. Claridge battling for 6th and 7th. Then you go back to Clark and Croker in 8th and 9th position. We watch on screen Reese May just driving away from the field. From Lindsay Hobbs sitting back there in 2nd. 3rd you go back to Clayton Davies, and we are yellow. Chris Nankiville is what my program is telling me. Ah, yes. Ball doesn't move. And he's definitely not allowed to park there. I feel like he would have gotten that from some Power Plats presentation that, you know, would have said, hey, you can't park there. Boy, oh boy. What a fiery heat race this is. Lights out. I believe we'll go back to lap 5. That indeed we do. 3 circuits remaining. Your 3rd and final heat race of the night. Big thank you to, of course, JR Productions and Media, the title sponsor for the 6-week series. Big thank you to, of course, LJR, Ash Hammond, Simon Designs and Worth Australia for their support with the series. As once again, ready for Reese May to fire away. Bevan trying to get the jump on Clayton Davies down into 1, but Davies got the advantage. He's got the drive. Pulling away from Lindsay Hobbs into turns 3, so now it's Max Bevan. He's got an opportunity to put himself directly into the main event rather than having to go through to the B main. Davies with a monster run down into turn number 3 after absolutely obliterating the cushion all the way through 1 and 2, and he goes in the space of 2 laps. He goes from 2nd down into the race lead. He shut the door on Reese May. Can he fire the shot back at him? Davies going to be too good in protecting that line. Checkered flag is out. Clayton Davies wins from Reese May home in 2nd. Lindsay Hobbs 3rd. Followed closely by Max Bevan in 4th. Kai Jensen rounds out the top 5. Jacob Croker, Mitchell Clark, Kinzer Claridge, and Chris Nankiville will come home in position number 9. That is, there it is. Davies, May, Hobbs, top 3. 4th on back will go to the B. Bevan, Jensen, Croker, Clark, Claridge, and Nankiville. as this will be B main. The only B main. There is not a second B main. It is 19 cars doing battle for 15 transfer spots, I believe it will be. We'll take a look at the Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid here in a second. Luke Johnson and Jason Burke in row 1. Max Bevan, Kyle Collins in row 2. Derek Patetti and Kai Jensen, row 3. Row 4, Tony Walsh and Caleb Mills. Row 5, Jacob Croker and David Clifford. Row 6, Justin Wright and Mitchell Clark. Row 7, Gregory Chandler and James Rice. Row 8, Kinza Claridge and Kobe Wright. Row 9, Liam James and Chris Nankerville. And row 10, by himself, it's Jack Murphy. Ten laps, 15 of these drivers go through to the main. 4 will be sent packing. Ready for the initial start. Again, iRacing green flag dictates the start. Once the iRacing green flag comes out, then the boys can mash the throttle. And it's going to be Luke Johnson getting the drive down the back straight away from Max Bevan, who finds himself sitting back there in second position. Then you go back to Jason Burke. Look up, there's some contact between Burke and I believe that was Kyle Collins it was. Wait a minute, David Clifford in fact. There's Kyle Collins in the 19 Triggers. 10 laps, it's only an extra 2 laps from heat racing action. Oh no, there goes Kyle Collins hard into the concrete. So tough break for Kyle Collins as we are under the yellow flag conditions. Let's take a look at what happened. Just right over the right rear there of Caleb Mills, I believe it was, in the 10 car. We're not seeing Nick Ryan tonight, one of the drivers that runs for the Team 10 stable. So Kobe Wright back to the pits. He is done. James Rice out of the event. And again, caution laps not counting, so we basically freeze the lap counter, and with the 17 cars, they do battle for 15 transfer positions. If you're not inside those top 15, well, you might as well pack it up and get ready to go to Lernerville next week. Pace truck goes in, and it'll be in fact 3 down, 7 to run. Johnson in that Ultimate Dirt League kind of a 2 car. Well, okay, so I was right. We were 2 down. Mills finds a shot up the inside on Kai Jensen in 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Berkey tries to come after Max Bevan. It happened in 3 and 4. He was a lot closer than what he is in 1 and 2. But now Johnson under some heavy pressure from the 88 entry of Max Bevan. Johnson runs low, and well, he may as well go to the doctors because he's got a little bit of a cold after Bevan went on by. Bevan good on the top side of the racetrack. Collins, meanwhile, sorry, that's Jensen in the nine machine, getting by Burke. Mills goes hard into the concrete. He goes upside down. We'll go yellow. And Caleb Mills going to bring on the cautions for the second time in tonight's B main. Caught that one there at the end of it. Sent it just behind where we were watching. Here is your instant replay. And just gets up a little too high up over the cushion. Tags the guardrail not once but twice, and then sends him flying out of the racetrack. Comes back on. And, well, that car is as good as toast. So he is done. He will not be allowed back out onto the racetrack because once you go back to the pits, basically it's real simple. The pits are closed, and that is all. So last week we had a track reset for Lucas Oil. I don't think that we're going to have a track reset now because the track is, well, it's not all that slick. It's a little slick. But basically what you see now is no different to what you're going to see later on in the night. Everyone's going to be upstairs working their magic on the cushion here at the Speed Palace, Port Royal, run number 2 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wing Sprint Cars, brought to you by Ultimate Dirt League. We're back underway. We're halfway home in tonight's B-Main. We're 5 down and 5 to run. How about Greg Chandler? He's in a 4-way battle right now with Luke Johnson, Kai Jensen, and Jason Burke was there. Chandler goes to the inside. Remember, go back to the start of the night. He was tonight's quick timer and picked up maximum points for qualifying. We are yellow, Kyle. It's Jack Murphy. No, it's Jason Burke. He's caught up with someone. Teddy. I didn't even click on anything. And it made a sound. Jason Burke, here it is in the 74 entry. Jake Patetti tried to go around the outside. Burke may have just come up just a little bit. Unfortunately, I think Patetti goes upside down on his top of the roll cage. He's lost the wing, and well, Kyle Collins, you can thank your lucky stars on that one because you've now booked yourself a ticket to tonight's, I believe, 40 lap main event. Might even be 35, I'm not sure. So we should be back to 3 laps left to run. There it is. Goes back to lap number 7 of 10. So we'll start our 8th lap of 10, which I am correct in saying that there is 3 to run. Bevan, Johnson and Jensen. They are your top 3. Everybody on the racetrack finds themselves going to the main event. 3 circuits remaining for Max Bevan. And we'll go 3 wide down into 1 and 2. Chandler, Jensen and Johnson. Chandler's up to position number 3. And now here comes Chandler up to position 2. Well, look at Jensen, the right rear, right over. We got into the right rear there of Greg Chandler. Johnson puts a slider. Chandler comes back at him 3 wide through the middle of the racetrack. He goes, nearly got into David Clifford, who was running the low side of the racetrack. Clifford still works low through turn number 3 and 4, but the white flag is out for the pretty boy Max Bevan. So we go into 1 and 2. Johnson runs the top. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, they all run the bottom side. 1st and 5th, they were upstairs. It won't matter because everybody in or remaining on the racetrack goes through to the A. It's all for starting positions, and style points coming out for Greg Chandler. Bevan will get the win from David Clifford, who comes from 10th up to position number 2 and finds himself going +8 on the night. Here is your results. Max Bevan, David Clifford, Kai Jensen, Greg Chandler and Luke Johnson, your top 5. Mitchell Clark, Jacob Croker, Justin Wright, Liam James and Tony Walsh, your top 10. Kinzer Claridge, Jason Burke, Chris Nankiville, Jack Murphy and Kyle Collins, your top 15. For the likes of Derek Patetti, Caleb Mills, Kobe Wright and James Rice. Well, unfortunately, we'll have to see those guys back later on next week. Warm-up session is well and truly upon us right now. I don't think they are going to touch the track. So with that being said, what we might do, we might just take a quick commercial break and come back in just a few moments' time. You're watching round number 2 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wing Sprint Cars from the Speed Palace, aka Port Royal Speedway. And we are back here at Ultimate Dirt TV. Round 2 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wings Sprint Car Series, brought to you by Ultimate Dirt League here at Port Royal, the Speed Palace. Your main event will line up like this. We'll go from back to front. Position number 24, it's Kyle Collins. Position number 23, Jack Murphy. Position number 22, Chris Nankerville. Position number 21, Jason Burke. Position number 20, Kinza Claridge. Position number 19, Tony Walsh. Position number 18, Liam James. Position 17, Justin Wright. Position 16, Jacob Croker. Position number 15, Mitchell Clark. Position number 14, Luke Johnson. Position number 13, Greg Chandler. Position number 12, Kai Jensen. Position number 11, David Clifford. Position number 10, Max Bevan, your B-main winner. Position number 9, Lindsay Hobbs. Sean Stevens and Brent Hobbs out of 8 and 7. Reese May from 6. Jared Burns from 5. Daniel Boyd from 4. Clayton Davies from 3. Riley Stewart and Cooper Wilson on the front row. Round number 2 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wing Sprint Car Series. It's time to get dirty for 30 here at Port Royal, and we are green. Everybody trying to navigate their way through the opening couple of turns. Wilson under some pressure, cops a slider from Stewart. Wilson turns it back underneath the old drag race to the start-finish line. There was very little in between the pair. You go back to last week, there was 0.025 of a second. It was very, very close for the race winner of Joshua Walton. Davies quickly moves into position number 2, but before they could get the entire field past the start-finish line, the yellow comes out, which means Cooper Wilson, well, he's just been saved by the bell. Let's take a look at Reese May. Oh, Chandler. Just 3 into 1, didn't go. 3 into 1, into 3. And unfortunately, that will bring on the caution flags. First time in tonight's main event. Now, caution laps should not be counting. Kinza Claridge out of the event. Reese May still been able to circulate. So still 2 to green for the minute. How about Chris Nankerville from 22nd up to position number 14 already in that King Race Designs number 20 machine. If you guys are looking to get a new paint, I suggest you check out King Race Designs. Kai Jensen now at the back of the bus, which I thought might have been strange considering that he started position number 12, so maybe he was deemed as the primary cause for either that one or something else. I think there was too much wrong. Maybe I missed something that happened with Kai Jensen. We'll let it go. We'll keep on trucking along. Getting ready to go back to green in the main event, round number 2 here at Port Royal Speedway, the JR Productions and Media 360 Wing Sprint Car Series, brought to you by Ultimate Dirt League. And again, as everybody tries to settle into a bit of a rhythm right now, you see the 64 Brent Hobbs just testing the waters down to the low side. Max Bevan, Sean Stevens trying to shut the door on Hobbs. Probably would have been safer to go around the outside. Stay green, 4 in the books. Past the start-finish line, out of turn number 4 for your race lead, a 6/10 of a second lead. But the battle you're watching on screen, Chandler and Stevens, they'll go wheel to wheel. Just in front of them is Lindsay Hobbs. And again, remember, Chandler He started off the night in qualifying with quick time awards. Burns trying to put the move there on Max Bevan for a top 5. But Bevan is just like, yeah, nah, we're yellow. There's Jack Murphy. Oh, Justin Wright had some issues there. And again, that car will not turn into the turn. And he parks it up in the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Brady, I agree. So 22 drivers out of the 24 still on the racetrack. Safety car lights are still on, so we are still to the green. Let's see if we've still got that. We do. So we've actually got our 360 camera. Can even have a look down there at the driver on screen, and this is at the minute your race leader. We'll see what Wilson can do as we work through turn number 1 and 2. And if you want to tell the difference, it's real simple. Have a look at the fence above the guardrail. So seeing as though we've still got .25 to go, we're finding ourselves back underway. Wilson has already got the pressure from Clayton Davies. Down into 3 we go. Davies with a slider on Wilson, but Wilson turns it back underneath him, and that's going to be Cooper Wilson. Position number 2 at the line. Davies runs a cushion, now cuts back down, uses the cutback line as Wilson slides up the racetrack, and we are yellow once again. And there's a real delay on the sounds for the yellow flag, so we might just not show any of the replays, unfortunately, because we do like to keep our audience up to date with what's going on. So a couple of big movers through the field. Kyle Collins +9 and Chris Nankiville +9. Nankiville started what was 24th position, no 22nd, and Kyle Collins started, he started in about the yes position. I've got no idea where he started. He started 24th. So 22nd and 24th place drivers, and they've almost worked their way inside the top 10. Nankiville sitting in 13th. Kyle Collins sitting in 15th. We'll go back up towards the front of the field. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Round number 2 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wing Sprint Car Series. Daniel Boyd feeling the pressure from Jared Burns at the moment down the back straightaway. Once again, Davies puts a big slide job there on Cooper Wilson. This time it's going to be Cooper Wilson one more time to have position number 2 at the start-finish line. He'll put the slider as Davies turns it back underneath him. Looks for the moisture down the back straightaway on the bottom side. He'll get the run down into 3. So it's a bit of tip for tat right now between these two pairing. Bevan and Boyd come together as Boyd. They were nearly 3 wide. Chandler. Oh no. Chandler and Stevens upside down. Stevens will not be able to get that car back going on all fours. And that will end his night. Croker back in the pits a couple of laps ago. Chandler and Stevens will find themselves back in the pit area. So they are done. I say Max Bevan was pretty close and pretty lucky to not get too much damage on the right front wheel of that 88 machine. He's got that he's got the wing tugged all the way back at the moment. There is some damage to the front wing. I dare say that would have been courtesy of the contact with Daniel Boyd on the exit of turn number 4 on the previous lap on that green flag run. It was a 3-way tussle. It was nearly 3 wide between Boyd, Burns and Bevan. So officially 1/3 of the way into, whoa, look out, Wilson and Davies that was, as a couple of cars go around. That's Boyd and Burns going around the outside of Clayton Davies, and now that puts Max Bevan. Oh, I think Davies might be a little bit lucky on this one. Depending on actually... Okay, well, he may not get the spot back just for the simple fact that Boyd and Burns both went around him by the time they got to the start-finish line. Luke Johnson back in the pits. So a quarter of the cars have found themselves as casualties, and we're seeing a lot, or we have been seeing a lot of top wings falling off the top of the race cars. So 11 down, 9, I believe we should go to 11 down because the lap counter will come back to lap number 11. So once we go back green, we will in fact start the 12th lap, which yes, I am 19 remaining. Math is correct. There it is. That means lights are out whenever the lap counter goes back from 12 to 11. Means we are on 1 to green. Back underway, the main event tonight. Round 2 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wing Sprint Car Series, brought to you by Ultimate Dirt League. Stewart, Wilson, Daniel Boyd, Burns and Davies at your top 5. How does Davies recover? Oh boy, Boyd hard into the wall on the front straightaway. Davies pulls the trigger, goes 2 for the price of 1. He'll get back to a podium position and now sets his sights on the back of Cooper Wilson in that number 14 machine. Boyd, Burns, I'll go wheel to wheel down the front straightaway. Bevan again got the wing, tugged right back. He nearly tried to make it 3 wide. He was thinking about going through the middle of the racetrack. We're a couple of laps away. Make it a lap away from half race distance. We'll start the 15th lap. We're not at half race distance just yet. Davies closes in on Wilson big time. Wilson 1.1, almost 1.2 seconds behind your race leader. 3 wide, double slide job, and will it be the double crossover? Boyd, Hobbs and Bevan. A hell of a move in 3 and 4 by the 3 drivers. And to keep it all going nice and straight at the moment. Here comes Hobbs down to the inside. That's Brent Hobbs. Trying to get by Daniel Boyd. Here is Kai Jensen. Chris Nankiville up to position number 10 from 22nd starting position. That's plus 12. That is your hard charger at the minute. Still a 1 second advantage. The good battle going on. It's a 1/10 of a second between Davies and Wilson. Into turns 1 and 2. We'll get to that in a moment. We'll catch up to him here. Down into 3 and 4 we go. They'll put Jade Arbor lap down. Kai Jensen has already gone back to the pit area. Justin Wright a lap down. Still on the racetrack. Oh boy, Davies. Not once but twice did he catch the cushion. But he certainly had a good piece and a good bite to eat of that wall. David Clifford in the 029 machine. Wilson has had to go to the low side, as does Davies. 1.6 seconds for your leader of Stewart from Wilson. Davies again, that's the driver sitting 2nd and 3rd on screen. They'll come up to Reese May. 2nd and 3rd place drivers will put Reese May a lap down. Jason Burke, last car on the lead lap. He's about to be put a lap down as they get by. 2nd and 3rd place drivers of Wilson and Davies get by Kyle Collins. Davies into the wall once again. We'll have 8 to run. Out of turn number 4 past the start finish line. So what is a heat race distance away, and how can you not like this battle for 2nd and 3rd between Cooper Wilson and Clayton Davies. Davies now trying the bottom on the exit of turn number 2, trying to find some extra moisture, trying to find that extra bit of speed to give himself an advantage over Cooper Wilson. So it's CW up against CD. Berkey goes a lap down from the drivers in 2nd and 3rd place. And again, Davies with a slider in 3 and 4, but it's Cooper Wilson. He's just too good on the crossover. Davies once again gets a monster run out of turn number 2. Not going to pull the trigger just yet. Maybe pulls the trigger in 1 and 2 for the slide job. Does Wilson protect it? No, he won't, but the trigger has been pulled by Davies. And that could be the advantage that Davies needs going down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Slide job once again. The yellow is out in a 2.8 second lead for your race leader. And lapping up to 10th position is now gone. So drama unfolding late in this one. If we can take it last laps. Clayton Davies, the quicker car out of this field on the previous lap. Take Sean Stevens out because he hasn't turned a lap since 1926 in this feature event. But for the cars still on the racetrack, Clayton Davies with a 17.202. So we shall wait for the safety car. In fact, there we go. We'll go back to lap 26. And the lights are still on, so which means we are still on 2 to green. Lights hopefully should go out on the safety car. So the field rolling down into turns 3 and 4 with 4 laps left to run. And it'll be Stewart to lead us back underway. Can Davies dispatch of Wilson quick enough to challenge for the race lead? He's got the slider, but it's Wilson with the run down into turn 3, and it was very close to making contact. Davies finding every bit of track to get by the 14 entry down into 1 and 2 one more time. He grabbed the caution, but it's going to be a drag race down into turn 3. And this is the opportunity that Davies needed. Davies cuts back underneath and he gets by Cooper Wilson for the runner-up position, but 2 laps left to run. And it's just shy of 1/10 of a second. I don't think he's going to have enough to catch up to your race leader. Oh my! Maybe I've spoken a little too soon. And the 1/8 of a second lead now comes back to a green-white checker with a nose to tail start. And Max Bevan in the pits. And he is O-U-T. Oot. Oh boy. Do the mind games start to happen? Tell you what, Davies and Wilson have really put on a show here tonight. Throughout the course of this feature event, I dare say for 20 plus laps, they have traded sliders. Davies trying to overcome a little mistake, a couple of restarts ago, where he was restarting in 3rd but fell back to 5th by the time they got to the start-finish line. And he's certainly driven his way back towards the front of the field. Now he's got a chance at a potential race win. So lights are out. Green-white checker on the docket. All good, Sean? Cody, Ultimate Dirt League. Number 7464, I believe it is. 7464. Pretty sure it's that, Cody. It's, yeah, Ultimate Dirt League. Green-white checker is underway. The green is out, and it's only 4/10 of a second now. Davies really needed to time that restart, but he will time on absolutely obliterating the cushion through 1 and 2. He'll have one more shot. He is pulled up to the tail tank of the one machine. Davies ducks down to the inside, down into 1 and 2, slide jump for the race lead. Stewart turns it back underneath and they bang wheels down the back straight away. Who's going to have it down into turn number 3 and 4? Stewart with a slider, Davies with the crossover, and Clayton Davies is going to steal it up the line. Clayton Davies with a win and a remarkable effort to get back to the number 1 position. How good is that? Clayton Davies taking the checkered flag here at Port Royal Speedway, and round number 2 is done. Let's take a look at those official results. We'll go like this. Clayton Davies gets the win from Riley Stewart, Cooper Wilson to make up your podium. We'll chat to those three drivers here in just a few moments. Time, Jared Burns and Daniel Boyd come home 4th and 5th. Mitchell Clark in 6th. Chris Nankerville, your hard charger, plus 15 to 22nd to position number 7. Tony Walsh in 8th. Brent Hobbs 9th. And Liam James will come home in position number 10. Jason Burke home in 11th. Reese May 12th. Kyle Collins, Dave Clifford, Justin Wright make up your top 15. Then you go back to Max Bevan, 16, Lindsay Hobbs, 17, Kai Jensen, Luke Johnson, Greg Chandler in 20th, Sean Stevens, Jacob Croker, Jack Murphy, and Kinza Claridge will be your 24 drivers in this one. Wait for the top 3 to quickly get into the channel, and then we will chat to the top 3. As let's go and grab our 3rd place driver here tonight, driving the number 14 machine of Cooper Wilson. Cooper, congratulations on the runner-up finish. And, well, I mean, that was a hell of a battle between yourself and Clayton for probably 20-plus laps there. You must be happy with the overall result, I guess.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. It was a difficult race there, racing with Clayton. And, yeah, I was just trying to hold him off. I knew I didn't have the car speed there late in the race, and then we had that second last yellow. It was green, white checker, and I went to run my line again, and yeah, it just didn't hold. So that sort of wore us down a little bit there towards the end, but I'm able to another podium, so you can't be upset with that.
Mate, how difficult is it to get around this racetrack when it's all up on the top side and that cushion can really bite you?
Oh yeah, it's very hard. Considering I don't have much energy at the moment, considering I have tonsillitis, but yeah, you just got to hang on up there and rail it. I've seen Clayton go to the bottom there early on in the race or mid-part through the race to try and pass me, and he dropped back real quick. So I seen him a relative, so I knew that there was nowhere else quick apart from the top or, the cut down, which seemed to be working when Clayton was sliding me. But yeah, it's definitely very, very hard up the top there.
Mate, hell of a drive, hell of a performance here tonight to come home 3rd place in the second round of the series. Before we let you go, of course, a lot of sponsors, a lot of great people that need to be thanked that help this 14 machine get around. Yeah,
just all the boys that beat the dark, all the work that Hobbsy does for the team, Hobbs Trenching and Boring, and Pete that helps out, North Central Solutions, 81 Racewear, and cheers.
There we go. Cooper Wilson home in 3rd spot. Time in 2nd place tonight is Riley Stewart. And Riley, congratulations. Well, congratulations, but commiserations on 2nd. You had 29 3/4 laps led. That must be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, just didn't need a couple of those cautions. I think there was a couple of times I had a really good lead, and then just think I cracked under the pressure, and Davies just capitalised when I got loose out of 4 coming to the white, and yeah, he deserved it. He drove well all race. He got bumped back on one of the starts, and he managed to drive his way back. So yeah, just full credit to him. He drove really well the whole time.
Track's slick. The track is slick. The cushion is tough. I mean, how do you manage to put 30 consistent and near perfect laps together to come away one spot better next time?
I cannot drive the slick. I've always struggled with it, and I've just the amount of laps I ran this week and to still come up short. It's a bit disappointing, but I think this is one of my middle tracks. I'm not too good, but I'm not the worst. But yeah, I mean, we'll just try and focus on next week, see if we can pull some good laps together, and yeah, hopefully we can come off that one spot better.
No, look, well done on 2nd. No doubt, a lot of people, a lot of sponsors that need to be thanked on this car.
Yeah, just Team CFM Esports, Majula C Speed Shop, Sweet Victory Apparel, Victory Lane Racing, Spartan Transportation, High Performance C, TAC 3 Defence, and WR1 Sim Chassis, and just the boys at UDL for putting the league on, and you guys at Ultimate Dirt TV for broadcasting.
All right, there we go. Riley Stewart home in 2nd place, and your winner here tonight, Driving caliber 50, and well, probably a well-deserved one at that one. Clayton Davis, congratulations. Man, I tell you what, talk about leaving it to the very, very last turn to get the job done.
I just wanted to put a show on, mate. You know me.
Oh, mate, that you did. I got to say that the battle between yourself and Cooper for 20+ laps was well worth the price of admission, and then that final restart. What was going through your mind there?
Look, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of just stoked to get past Cooper. Like, he ran me really hard for those 20 laps, and I had to earn that spot. So to be honest, I was pretty happy with second. I was like kind of accepted that Riley was going to win, and then we had that yellow, and I was like, it'd be rude not to throw something, to be honest. Like, so as soon as I made sure I had to run up on him, and I was right up on him, I threw the hardest thing I could throw, and just tried to put the pressure on him, and it paid off.
This cushion in 1 and 2 can be so treacherous. How do you find the consistency up there to try and hit that lap after lap?
I think I need a Jacob's Ladder sponsorship, mate, because I reckon I knocked it about 10 times going when I was sliding Cooper, dude. There was nothing left of it. But no, this cushion is very I wouldn't say daunting, but you gotta pick your battles with it, because it doesn't forgive. Like, it'll grab you and junk you straight away. Like, you really don't have much warning, so you got to be careful when running it. And we were just lucky enough that I didn't run it too bad. There was a couple of cases there where I thought I was going up and over, but I was lucky enough to pull it out and not kill me or anyone else around me. So that's definitely winning my books lately. So no, I'm stoked to get even finish the race. It seems like we've had pretty bad luck lately, in whether it's pro or just any league races.
Yeah, look, mate, congratulations on the win, and a well-deserved win at that. I must say, you really had your troubles coming through that field, especially on one of those restarts when you went from third back to fifth, and then to drive back up to the front, and really laid on the line. It was a well-watched show, that was for sure.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's just, you can't give up. Like, you can, like, those kind of things kind of get you in a bad mood, and you just got to try and shake it out and just have fun. I think the problem with a lot of it, and what kind of puts a downer on all of this, is if you take it too serious, a bump like that, which is really nothing, can seem like the end of your race, but you just shake it off and do the best with what you got. And we're lucky enough that the car was still really quick even after the wheel damage, and we just picked our battles and picked our timing right, and we're lucky enough to make some timely passes in the right times and capitalize on some unfortunate mistakes.
Well, mate, congratulations on the win. No doubt a lot of people, a lot of great sponsors that need to be thanked on this race car before we let you go.
First of all, I'd like to thank you and everyone else at Ultimate Dirt League for putting on the broadcast in the league. Partners wise, I'd like to thank Wave Runner, the Speedway shop, Aftershock PCs, everyone at Synergy Sim Racing. I can't thank them enough for bringing me on and giving me another place to chill out and some more boys to call friends. I'd like to thank Blaine at 27 Designs, Gage at House of Speed Designs, Cedar Cinematography, ABR Setup Shop, and Western Machine Shop.
Well, congratulations on the win. Next week, Lernerville. What's the plans? Are you going to be here for that one, or what's the go there?
I mean, I should be here. To be honest, it's like I lost where I was with the leagues that were going on, and it was just by chance that I seen that this was on and jumped in. I'll definitely remember to try and come back on next week. Just depends on work, and I reckon you could lock me in.
No, mate. Well, look, hopefully we see you back next week. Congratulations on the win tonight, Clayton.
Thanks, mate.
There we go, Clayton Davies, your winner here tonight from the Speed Palace, Port Royal. Round number 2 of the JR Productions and Media is done. Again, next week, like I said, we go to Lernerville. We stay in PA territory for round number 3 of the JR Productions and Media 360 Wing Sprint Car Series, brought to you by Ultimate Dirt League. Big thanks to JR Productions and Media, Ultimate Dirt League, Worth Australia, Ash Hammond, Sign and Designs, and LJR Luke Johnson Racing for their continued support on the series. Until then, on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV, I'm Brett Wheeler, signing off, saying good night